Okay, guys, it's Scott here for the Rebellious Noise Pro Wrestling channel, and I'm joined once again by my buddy,
Rob. Hi.
And we are here to talk again about the Hall of Fame, Rob. We were talking about the Hall of Fame already, and we were talking about its place in WrestleMania season.
Well, I feel you got so angry talking about our plans for how WrestleMania week should be that we come back and you've gone, no, we need to talk.
Yeah, it needs its own show. Like, it needs its own episode.
See what happened just after we went off air.
Yeah, we needed a fight. No, basically, what we decided within that, spoiler alert, but please go back and watch it, is that we put WrestleMania on the Thursday. So we gave its own day, but go back and check how we got to that conclusion.
Hall of Fame on a Thursday. WrestleMania's still on
So, yeah.
Are you okay?
WrestleMania Thursday. Yeah, anyway, Hall of Fame's on a Thursday. Wow. And we toyed around with moving it to SummerSlam. But
should we touch on that first, or do you want to just move on? To
well, we kind of mentioned it already, didn't we? That is it
I still like the idea.
I like the idea, but go back and watch that video basically where we're talking about WrestleMania season and the potential to move it to SummerSlam. But we're going to talk about wherever it is on a night on its own, because that's the first win we're getting clear. It's not going to be after SmackDown if we're booking it.
It's a Thursday.
It's on its own on a Thursday maybe, or at SummerSlam. There are a few other things that we still need to fix, Rob. And we mentioned, especially with the SmackDown thing, is that it was tiring. You don't, as you said in that video, this is their biggest night of their lives for some of these people, rightly so. And it's a great honor, and they deserve to be given that moment. Sometimes it'll be their last moment. Sometimes it's the moment they have been waiting for 20 years that they've been out of the business, or 20 years that they started in the business, or, a whole range of things, these people going into the Hall of Fame. And it means different things to varying people and stuff like that as well. But a great honor to most, I'm sure. Now, I agree with what you said in that video, is that it needs its own day, it needs its own focus. And the worst thing is, like you said in that as well, is when you get someone like The Undertaker and you're thinking, wrap it up, mate. And it's been a problem for years, even before it was on SmackDown, that the Hall of Fame is too long.
Didn't Triple H have to go out and give Ric Flair a notice that time was running up?
Yeah.
Like, what?
And they turn it into a joke and whatever.
Yeah, but that shouldn't be happening.
Nah. But there's always that thing, like, guys have rambled over the years. You think about the hilarious ones, Mr. T, talking about, I think his mum. Fair play to him, man. Appreciate your mother out there. Yeah, it's just like, it's been long for ages. It's not just since it moved to SmackDown. So that, number one, deal with that problem by moving it from SmackDown. Yeah. Number two is its length, right? And there's two ways to factor that. Number one, you have less inductees.
100%.
I don't remember how many there used to be, but I think at the moment it seems about 5.
See, that feels like a number.
Feels good.
It feels good.
You're going to run out of people. Like, you're always making stars, and eventually future Hall of Famers, like we're hearing names like Seth Rollins are getting compared to his future Hall of Famers and stuff like that. But still, we need to slow it down, guys. We've had some years, we had way too many. And I think we still got a good few, like, ruthless aggression guys we could go through still. So ECW guys, yeah. So, like, let's slow it down, guys. Put the brakes on. 5, good number.
5 is a perfect number.
Right. Now, format, like, don't want to get too much into it, Trips, because, again, still wearing his t-shirt in honor of you with the sledgehammer and the ink on it. But basically...
Do you think it's got mallets in? It's just a H.
Yeah. It's like a stamp. He puts his ideas on it and then he stamps it with some ink. So, I just got this legit. How's he going to do that? He carves it in, then he stamps it, then he scrapes it off, and he carves it. Yeah. But then Sledgehammer's he's going to need a new Sledgehammer eventually. Anyway, how to fix WrestleMania? No, how to fix the Hall of Fame?
Are you okay?
How to fix the Hall of Fame is what we're at now. I think what they need to do, separate 5 people only, and of course, format-wise,
it should be 6.
6. Why 6?
So we have 5, and then we have the Warrior Award. I think the Warrior Award, it still should
be because otherwise it's just 4. 4 feels a weird
so
number.
I think it should be 6.
Legacy wing, I think bring back that. They didn't do it last year. The Legacy, I don't know if they're going to do it this year, but Legacy, I like that. Mainly people that
would you put
wrestled in the 1950s and stuff. I think they deserve to be in it,
Okay, so that kind of rounds off the 7, but in a way...
That doesn't take long, though.
No.
It's 5-minute
the
promo.
Warrior thing and the Legacy thing, I think...
The Warrior thing could be cut down as well. Sometimes they ramble on, and it's not relevant to what we're talking about. It shouldn't be as long. So that should be a shorter speech. Sometimes it has been short, don't get me wrong. Then you got ones like Shad who deserve a lot. He's a superstar as well. Maybe he never would have gone in as a Hall of Famer from his career, as much as I enjoyed him as a performer.
Crime Time, yeah.
Realistically, he didn't have a Hall of Fame career, especially single. Maybe it's Crime Time in the future. You could look at it like that. But Shad going in, he went in for, incredible story of what happened to him, sadly, in his final moments, and that incredible act of kind of selflessness for his son. But yeah, so Shad deserves to be in it. I like the Warrior Award, even though it's not what Warrior envisioned it to be, weirdly enough. It's kind of changed. He wanted it to be more behind the scenes things, but I think we can mix those things together somehow.
All right, so let's say we have a core 5.
Yeah.
But then it's round off to 7 with the Legacy and the Warrior.
Yeah. But there are 5 wrestlers, or like one celebrity. I think there should always be a celebrity. But then you run out of celebrities, though. So maybe not always a celebrity.
I think if the timing's right,
yeah,
I think that it should be a celebrity that's actually.
So that means it will sometimes go up to an extra inductee. Yeah. But celebrities shouldn't get long either.
No, they should get 10 minutes.
5, 10. Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
What
Some of them
really done in WWE.
You know, yeah, exactly. Like,
unless it was like Cyndi Lauper, who done.
Yeah. But even her, I don't think she should have many things that she needs to talk about.
Certain moments, other than now.
You don't need to talk about your career. It's about your time in WWE and a bit of your career that got you there and who you want to thank. But like, this ain't your Oscar. Like, you should still be getting that elsewhere. This ain't your primetime Emmy, and this ain't your Grammy. That's for that speech. You know what I mean? Like, this is for your timing. So yeah, right. That's those things out of the way. Now, the main thing is we just got to give a time limit. And I'm sure they have done in the past. Don't get me wrong, time limits to wrestlers and stuff like that. So that's neither here nor there. We can't really discuss that too much. Next thing I'm very, very passionate about. Oh, here we go. 2. These kind of work together.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Is the presentation.
In what sense?
In so many senses. I hate the way it's been the last few years in the ring. I hate it with all my heart. I feel like you're going to go against me, so I'm not going to let you speak yet. Let me just explain. I hate it, right? They just take the ring ropes down. They put it in the ring. The fans are behind them. It looks crap visually on TV. The wrestlers sit on the ramp. It looks terrible. Look, we've moved it from SmackDown anyway, but if they were somewhat tempted to do that, don't. I hate it. It needs to go back on a stage where it belongs, with the wrestlers sitting in front and the fans sitting behind or around them, right? Mm-hmm. But that brings me on to my next point of the fans, and I'll let you take over in a minute. But my next point about the fans is there's too many fans. Put it back in small theaters. Make it feel exclusive, because I tell you what, Rob, the last time I went to WrestleMania, I had a ticket to the Hall of Fame. Guess what I did? I went to Ring of Honor New Japan because I wanted to see that show more. As much as who's getting inducted that year?
If it's someone annoying, I'm gonna whack you.
It was DX.
Oh my!
I didn't go. I love DX.
I've got Triple H top on. He can be hit with that hammer that we just talked about.
But anyway, my point is, I could justify not going. Don't get me wrong, there's still part of me that didn't want to go. Yeah. That did want to go, sorry. That's the year that Brett got attacked in that stupid setup. Yeah. Like, shouldn't have happened. Should not have happened. See, that wasn't even after a SmackDown. That was just the way they set it up. So they've done it even before the SmackDown stuff. But anyway, so it needs to be more exclusive. Mm-hmm. It will feel important. If you're worried about ticket prices, well, people are now, they're not even paying to go to Hall of Fame. They're paying to go to SmackDown. It might be a bit higher. I don't know.
So what? You think they get SmackDown and then the Hall of Fame straight up?
Yeah, you do. Yeah. It's like when you go and you get main event and all that kind of stuff. Like, if you want more bang for your buck, but sometimes it's too tiring. So, like, keep it short, exciting, different night. But also, like, smaller venue, make it more exclusive, and then touching on that, fans should dress up. It should feel like an award ceremony. I've been to 2 Hall of Fames. Yep. Both times I dressed up. The third time, if I would have gone, I wouldn't have dressed up because no one else does. But I would have liked to have. I would have dressed somewhat smart casual or something like that. You know, maybe like a little Fred Perry polo shirt. But back in the day, I wore a suit. Like, the first time I wore suit and trousers. The second time, shirt and trousers. Second time I went, I wore a suit. And it was some of the best. Me and Tom, friend of the channel, of course, been on there a few times as well. Hi, Tom. We were getting ready to Jay-Z and Justin Timberlake suit and tie. Had that song on, putting on our suit and tie, getting ready. That song was popping at the time. Talking 2013.
Just to date this.
Just to date this and to make us feel old. And we would get ready, and we would, it's part of the fun, get ready in your suit. Where are you guys going tonight? We're going to the Hall of Fame, and it feels like the Hall of Fame should feel special. Showing up, as much as I love this shirt, showing up and going, what? And stuff like that, I hate. Like, the fans need to have some decorum. know your place. And if they were told they had to dress smart and it's an exclusive venue, way smaller, it would feel the way it used to be. You know, like Dan, who's been obviously on this channel as well, he's been to a WrestleMania 23 in Detroit. It was a way smaller venue. It was like a theater.
And I bet he dressed up.
Sorry?
And I bet he dressed up.
He dressed up, yeah. He dressed up. That's how it should be. Now there is this kind of like, oh, you're faking it, like you're pretending, but it used to feel so fun. Like when I went to the first one I went to was at 25 when Austin got inducted. It was bigger than, I don't think it was big as Rock because I didn't feel as far away as I did at the other one, but it still felt smaller. I don't think it was quite a theater. Maybe a bit bigger than a theater, but I think a theater adds to the grandeur of it. It looks beautiful, you know. So for me, don't make it a 20,000 arena or 16,000 or 12,000 or anything like that. Make fans dress up. Make it exclusive. Not like it's invite only, but you feel special that you got a ticket. Anyway, yeah, I'll let you go.
Right. So I'm not opposed to the ring setup. However, I feel they could incorporate that as a backdrop as opposed to them being an actual ring. I think they should always be higher up than everyone anyway.
Yeah.
So the way they done it before, do you remember the time when Mick Foley was on there and then he said, "I never beat whoever it was," and then CM Punk got and done the count and all that stuff. Oh, Jericho.
I was at that one.
Is that the one you was at? I never beat Jericho. Punk went up there, done the thing.
Yeah.
Generic wrestling stuff, right? And everyone went mad.
Yeah.
Put it back to that. They should be talking to him, but I think they could incorporate it. They could make it just look prettier. Don't just give us some blue curtains. That's, you know, as you said, it's supposed to be a glamorous event. If it's Hall of Fame and it's a big deal, then all of it should be a big deal. So decorate it so it's important.
Yeah.
That's the first thing. And then you remember when they used to come out with, I don't want to call them divas, but they came out and they were...
They were at the time.
But they came out and they had people on there, you know, but they were walked out to the stage. It was a moment.
I think it somewhat could be... feel like because you're a wrestler and the women in the future the women are going to get more inductees because the women are now more on an equal level than they used to be to the men. So eventually the time's going to come where I guess you're going to have a man walk out the women and stuff like that. So the best way to get around that is
I like that.
If you have a connection with that wrestler and they're not inducting you but you want, you know, they played your on-screen partner or you tag, you know, whatever it may be, great storyline with them, something like that. The only way so do that. But if it's not a wrestler, then it should be the people that work backstage on the, you know, like the announcers, the ring announcers, the commentators, and the interviewers. That's who it should be because they dress up glamorous. They host a night anyway. Exactly. It should be people like that bringing people out. So yeah, I like the idea. I love seeing them dressed up like this. Man, this thing as a wrestling fan, you get into the stranger stuff. But I love the red carpet stuff. They don't really do that anymore because it comes straight after SmackDown. And if you, WrestleMania Hall of Fame's long, but I used to love watching that hour before, even because it is on late over here. Sometimes I just watch that and watch the rest in the morning. But I like seeing them kind of talk about what they're wearing, and they were half in character, half not. And I really enjoy it. It got me hyped up for the Hall of Fame. Yeah.
So I would refix the set.
Yeah.
I like the idea of a ring because obviously that's where they hone their craft and stuff. But that can be done in a set. That doesn't have to be in an actual ring kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know? Or even have the plinth looking like a bit of a ring on the front. And that's it. That's all you need. Just something. But have it, as you said, in like was it an auditorium kind of thing?
Yeah,
sort of
yeah.
Something like that. But you're right. I think the superstar, so whoever's giving their speech is at the top. All the wrestlers sitting down, obviously, they were suited and booted anyway. At the front, exactly how it used to be. And any fans that have got a ticket, basically, I look at that as that's a golden ticket to be inside something.
Privileged.
You don't...
Yeah.
In my opinion, fans shouldn't be at that.
Yeah.
Because that is for wrestlers and wrestlers' friends and family. Like, it's the ones that are a part of their life. If you've got a sneak peek behind a curtain and you're getting told all these stories that you've never heard before, you should be there dressed.
It used to feel so cool, man. Like you were part of it. Like you were dressed in a suit and you look down there and there's John Cena in a suit as well. Don't get me wrong, look better than I did. But it just feels like, oh, we're in this together. Like it's a weird psychological thing to make you feel it's so special. I can't believe I'm here, you know, like
it's a special moment for the wrestlers in their career.
And that suit thing just faded out. Like, so even when I went in 2013, there were more people wearing t-shirts than there was when I went in 2009. Merch. So in 4 years, it changed. I think if you weren't, if Hall of Fame was here and I was going to it this year, and I went dressed up. People, and it weren't part of SmackDown because that's even stranger to go dressed up to SmackDown in a tux or whatever. But if it was on its own and I went in a suit, I think people would be looking at me weird. How fast has it changed?
Yeah,
like there are wrestling fans that don't know that used to be a thing. You know, it happened gradual at first, and then boom, the suits they're gone. They're gone. Like,
I think it should be on a thing as well. Like, I don't want to say black tie, but it should be smart. Casual.
Yeah. I guess the problem comes in of being like, with the tricky with these kind of things in general, where maybe some people can't afford certain clothes or don't feel comfortable in certain clothes and stuff like that. Yeah. Mate, the first time I went, I think I wore a shirt from Asda. Do you know what I mean? but my point is, you know, like, I don't want to get into the stage where you're turning fans away or anything like that. But if there's at least not like you can't come in if you're wearing a wrestling t-shirt. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying there should be like, people should feel good and like it should be
representable.
You should be under like, yeah. If you have to go and if you don't feel comfortable in a suit and tie, that's fine. I'm not saying that at all. But
just a plain
yeah, but like yeah. But you don't. I just think it should be not strictly enforced, but heavily implied that this is a fancy thing. We all dress up. I think we should, and that's how it used to be. Yeah. This sounds so ridiculous. I know some people are already thinking like, "Why do you care so much?" But like, it just adds to the prestige of the night. Like, because having wrestling fans wear their wrestling merch, like the what chants happen anyway, but and silly, stupid chants happen at Hall of Fame sometimes. It's so cringy. Don't get me wrong, a one more match one, not too bad. But, and sometimes if things are comedic and whatever, that's fine. But for me, like, I think the fact that people go there with their same old crap, like their popcorn and their beer and their, you know, their Shield t-shirt, for example, like, as much as I love popcorn, beer and the Shield, like, I ain't there to be entertained in that way.
I think there's a time and a place for certain things when it comes to being a fan of
wrestling. You want the Hall of Fame to feel special.
Hall of Fame, and this is their crowning moment. Some people will never win a WWE championship.
Yeah.
And the Hall of Fame ring is the biggest thing they'll ever do in wrestling.
Yeah.
And if that's the biggest thing they'll ever do in wrestling, as fans, we should be respecting them and treating them and being exactly the same. So if the wrestlers are good enough to do it, so are we.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and again, we might not look as good as the wrestlers in our fancy clothes. But yeah. How would you go with a mask and a suit?
I'd take it off. Or I'd get a black mask.
Yeah.
And then I'd do like a Rey Mysterio.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, he always wore cool masks at the Hall of Fame. Yeah,
I mean,
but now...
got Louis Vuitton ones, and I'm not that rich.
Yeah, we'll go get a fake one down the market.
Yeah.
Let's do that. All right, yeah. Well, I think that's pretty much cleared it out for me. I mean, we agree presentation needs to change. We already agreed that it needs to change on what day it is. Pretty much agreed on the suits. I think we pretty much agreed on everything. I mean, you're not too against the ring, but using ring elements and a nice backdrop rather than... Like I just hate the placement where it is. It's literally... It just looks like Raw without the ropes. It's tired, or SmackDown, I guess, without the ropes. It is ugly. It's horrible. So yeah, please WWE, for yourselves and for us, like as wrestling fans, like let's make the Hall of, and for the inductees, let's make it prestigious again. Like it's lost its charm, and I think if it was like how we describe it, in many ways how it used to be, then I'd have a very hard time turning it down and going to another show if I was there in person. Yeah. And I definitely would. I'll tell you the truth, Rob, right? I don't know if I should be admitting this since we cover wrestling. Oh. I still haven't watched last year's Hall of Fame.
Have you not?
No. I watched some of The Undertaker's... I was in America at the time. I wasn't at Mania. I was on holiday.
Yeah.
I watched some of The Undertaker's speech. Ran out of time because I'm on holiday. I had to go out. And then I just never got around to the rest because I knew how long it was. And I just don't like the presentation.
Before we wrap up, there should be one main event of the Hall of Fame, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So we had this discussion. Obviously, we don't know if any other person's going in yet. Obviously, it's a date when it is.
Yeah.
We spoke about Ray being the headline.
Yeah.
And then I said, controversially, if Batista goes in, he should go in next year because this is Ray.
Yeah.
So I think if someone is a big name, then I think the biggest name should be headline.
It needs to be clear who the biggest name is. Yeah.
Because, I mean, I'm not going to disrespect the Bushwhackers.
Yeah.
But Ray or the Bushwhackers, which one should be headlining here?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? In that sort of sense. So I think if you've got an individual talent that's massive...
Kind of needs to be but like a card. like you know, like...
But not the rest
card,
of it should be... So I think you should have a headline, the next biggest star, and then kind of everyone else that was underneath were kind of, I guess, kind of like the mid card and all that sort of things.
Yeah, but again, there's a lot of things they can fix with the format, the presentation, and stuff like that. And I really do hope, hey, if this somehow ends up on Triple H's watch list or anything like that, it would be great if he did any of these things, or anyone else that has kind of stroked it there in the WWE and actually makes these decisions. But yeah, that's just coming from two wrestling fans who would like to see some prestige put back into the Hall of Fame. For us, for the company themselves, as far as marketing and how much money you'll make out of it, and also those who really deserve that special day, like we've been touching on already with the Hall of Famers as well. But anyway, this has been another episode of How to Fix. I think we've already got a few ideas for the next one, and also we're going to be touching on the Hall of Fame itself as far as a physical Hall of Fame. How about that, guys? Been rumored for years. We're actually going to kind of fantasy create a physical Hall of Fame. So if you like the idea of that, stick around on this channel. If you want to see us fixing WrestleMania season itself, of course we've got that on this channel as well. We've been a Rebellious Noise Pro Wrestling channel. We would love it if you would subscribe and check out more of our content. We've got interviews, we've got reviews, recaps, predictions, and fun little episodes like this as well. But most of all, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe. I've been Scott. He's been
Rob. Hi.
Not hi.
It's a thing. It's happening.
I don't know what I hate more, that or the Hall of Fame setup. Right, anyway, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.